Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, we have one of my favorite crab cakes. Now, I made them before on here. I did kind of a different type of crab cake, but I'm going back to the roots. I'm making kind of like Creole style, Cajun style kind of crab cake. You can use whatever spice rub you want. I'm going to make my own. It is not Cajun, it's not Creole, it's just what I like with it, but you can absolutely sub your own. All right, we got 3 parts today. We have the rub, the dipping sauce, and the crab cake. The rub goes into both, so I'm gonna be starting with that. Let's gather our ingredients. We're gonna be doing some Aleppo, teeny bit of cinnamon, I like it, ground coriander, some paprika, as well as some salt. Go ahead and make it. I'm not making a ton. You can absolutely scale this however you want. You can also throw in a little bit of celery salt or celery seed, but I'm just going to make enough pretty much for this dish. So let's do 2 teaspoons of ground coriander here. Let's do 2 teaspoons of salt, kosher salt here. You guessed it, 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm going to be doing 1/8 of cinnamon. Just a teeny little bit here. And then for my Aleppo, you can sub cayenne, red pepper flakes, whatever you want to your spice tolerance. I'm putting 1/2 teaspoon. If you use cayenne, don't put 1/2 teaspoon. Do like 1/8 or whatnot. All right, and finally, I am gonna add just a teeny bit of turmeric here. I'm gonna add maybe 1/2 teaspoon. And this is gonna give me some nice color. All right, next up for our dipping sauce, I like a combination of mayo and sour cream. So let's gather our ingredients here. We're gonna be doing a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of mayo. We got our spice rub, so we're gonna be using that, as well as a little bit of Dijon. So for our sour cream, we're gonna be doing about 1/2 cup here. For our mayo, we're gonna be doing about 1/4 cup. For our Dijon, we're going to be doing 1 tablespoon. Now, if you have really potent Dijon, you can always go down to 2 teaspoons, but I'm going to still use 1 tablespoon. I like that here. And then finally, for our spice mixture, we're also going to be doing 1 tablespoon. Go ahead and give this a good mix. Now, I love this dipping sauce. It's good with vegetables. It's good with fish. It's good with anything. For our crab cakes, let's gather our ingredients. I have 1 pound of jumbo lump crab. It came in a can. I took it out. I put it on some paper towels. I'm just letting it drain and kind of dry out. You want to get as much of that moisture out of there as possible, because we want to control that so we get crispy on the outside and then soft, tender, juicy on the inside crab cakes. I've also got some panko breadcrumbs. Regular breadcrumbs are fine as well. We're going to have a range of 2 to 4 tablespoons for the breadcrumbs, so adjust accordingly. You're going to need some canola or other vegetable oil, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of flour, some cilantro. Dill works nicely here. If you have parsley, that can work as well. You're going to need some scallions. You're also going to need a little bit of mayo, and I have a lemon for garnish. So let's get started. All right, for these scallions, you're pretty much just going to be using the green part. I'm just going to trim off the ends here and mince them up. All right, let's get these in a bowl. You're just going to kind of throw everything in together anyways. Next up, I'm going to be doing some cilantro. I'm going to be using about 1 tablespoon here. Next up is our mayonnaise. I'm going to be doing about 1/4 cup here. So that's 4 tablespoons. Now for my spice mixture, I'm going to be doing 1.5 teaspoons in here. Now I'm just going to mix this up. Don't want any pockets of spice blend. All right, perfect. Next up is my crab. Make sure it's dry as you can get it. Look how gorgeous this crab looks. All right, let's get that in there. Every last bit. It's too expensive. Oh, and make sure when you take it out of the can, pick over it, take out shells. There hasn't been a time where I haven't found a piece of shell. So always do that. So I'm just gonna mix this up, get everything nicely coated. It's kind of like a crab salad at this point. All right, now that everything's nicely coated, I'm gonna be adding, starting with 2 tablespoons of my breadcrumbs here. This is panko. I'm just gonna fold it around, see how stiff it gets. I'm gonna add a teeny bit more. If you're using finer breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons is probably enough. This is a little bit more coarse, so I'm gonna add another tablespoon here. This is gonna be so good. Look at this, look at this. It looks fantastic. Let's get our egg in there and going. We have our 1 egg beaten. Just gonna add it in here, fold it around gently. Now I'm gonna make 4 crab cakes here. So I have to divide it into 4 equal portions. All right, let's divide this into 4. Karate chop, karate chop. Form it into a nice round crab cake. You want to press it down to have it be about 1/2 inch thick, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Really pack it together. Now I'm going to flatten them out. Okay, now there is a little bit of a weight here. You're gonna have to put it in your fridge and you want to chill it for 30 minutes. So it's gonna allow that panko to kind of suck up a little bit of that moisture. The egg's gonna set a little bit and they'll hold together enough. And then we're just gonna bread them in a little bit of flour and we'll fry them up. All right, so while those crab cakes rest, we have our dipping sauce all set. I'm also going to prep my pan. I have a 12-inch non-stick skillet and you're gonna need about 1/4 cup of vegetable oil to fry these perfectly. Okay, I have my 1/4 cup of vegetable oil in my nonstick pan. I'm gonna turn that over medium-high heat until shimmering. That's gonna take about 3 minutes. While that's heating up, I'm just gonna lightly bread these crab cakes in flour. So I have my 1/4 cup of flour right here, and I'm gonna get my crab cakes in them, and I'm gonna fry them up. My crab cakes have sat in the fridge for 30 minutes. They're nicely chilled, and the panko has tightened everything up. So hopefully they hold together, but are still delicate after frying up nice crispy brown. Our oil here is shimmering, which is perfect. It's loosened up. That's how you know it is ready. Let's get our crab cakes in. You're just gonna cook them over medium-high heat, depending on your stove, until they're crispy brown on both sides. It's going to be 8 to 10 minutes total. All right, it's been about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip them very carefully here. If you need to use 2 spatulas, use 2 spatulas. Do what you got to do. While those are cooking, let's just prepare our plate here. I'm just going to do a little smear. Why not? Almost there, maybe another minute. Just gonna pull them off and put them on a paper towel lined plate. It's gonna take away any excess oil so we don't leave a greasy mess. Perfect. Got some scallions, a little bit of cilantro in there, our spice rub, and our dipping sauce. It's nice and steamy. Holds together. We've got a crispy outside. I heard it crunch when I cut it in half. Let's give it a taste. The first thing when it hits your tongue is you get that sweet, sweet crab flavor. It's the first thing there. And then all those flavors from that rub. Teeny bit of heat just kind of finishes it. You get the nice textures, the cilantro. It's kind of delicate. Then that dipping sauce just kind of like helps carry that flavor so it lasts a little bit longer. I'm gonna eat 3 of these, easy. Thanks everyone for tuning in. That was jumbo lump spiced crab cakes with a dipping sauce. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, follow me on YouTube, Twitch. I'm also on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.